All right, welcome back to the deep dive. You guys have chosen Sylvia Plath's The Bell Jar for this deep dive. So we are going to be jumping right into chapter 5, and we're going to explore why Esther Greenwood, this complex young woman, still feels so real to readers even decades later. Get ready, because this isn't just any character study. We're going to peel back the layers of her personality, see how she navigates relationships, and really understand her struggle with what society expects of her. It's all about identity, ambition, and a healthy dose of disillusionment, things we can probably all relate to in some way.
What's so captivating about the bell jar is that we're not just observing Esther's life. We're right there inside her head, experiencing the world through her very cynical, witty, and introspective
It's
thoughts.
that voice that hooks you from the very first page, isn't it? Like when she says, probably Mrs. Willard's simultaneous interpreter would be short and ugly, and I would come to look down on him. This thought gave me a certain satisfaction. And it makes you wonder, who is this sharp-tongued young woman?
That line really sets the tone for Esther's character. Here she is, stuck in bed recovering from some bad crab meat. And she's already sizing up a potential date based on, well, his appearance and Mrs. Willard's taste.
It's almost comical how quickly she dismisses this Constantine. And then there's Buddy Willard, who seems to be everything a young woman in the 1950s should want. He's handsome, successful, comes from a good family. Esther's initially drawn to him, but I'm sensing some cracks in that facade already.
You're right. Plath cleverly uses that fig tree story. Esther reads to foreshadow trouble ahead. It starts so innocently, with picking figs together. But then there's this shift, something awful happens, and the whole mood changes, just like with Buddy.
That's such a great point. The fig tree is more than just a random story. It's a symbol of Esther's own yearning for growth, for something more than what society dictates. She wants to blossom, but she's surrounded by these expectations that feel like a kind of decay, threatening to box her in.
Precisely. And then we have Buddy's infamous, poetry is a piece of dust comment. That's a huge red flag. It tells us that he might not understand Esther on a deeper level, that he might not value the things she finds truly important.
I love how Esther fires back in her mind. So are the cadavers you cut up. I reckon a good poem lasts a whole lot longer than 100 of those people put together. It shows her quick wit and her deep appreciation for art and humanity. It makes you wonder if she's attracted to Buddy for the right reasons.
It makes you question if she's trying to convince herself that he's the right guy. She's experiencing those pressures to find a suitable husband, especially in the context of the 1950s. Imagine the weight of societal expectations on young women back then. Marriage and motherhood were seen as the ultimate goals.
It's hard for us to even fathom that kind of pressure today, but even with those expectations, Esther seems to push back. She talks about hating blind dates, and we get this hilarious anecdote about her anxiety over tipping in New York.
That tipping scene is so relatable. It highlights that feeling of being an outsider, not quite fitting in, which is something that resonates even today. And it also shows that she's not afraid to be herself, even if it means being a little awkward or unconventional.
That awkwardness comes up again at the Yale Junior Prom. Esther goes from feeling invisible to being the center of attention. And yet, the kiss with Buddy falls flat. He's not living up to the image she might have created in her head.
It's interesting how that whole prom experience plays out. It's almost as if Esther is trying to convince herself that this is what happiness looks like, that this is what she's supposed to want.
It makes me wonder, what role does the unreliable narrator play in all of this? Are we getting a completely objective view of Buddy? Or is Esther's perspective colored by her own desires and anxieties?
That's such a great question. The unreliable narrator is a powerful literary technique that forces you to question everything you read. Plath cleverly uses it to create doubt and intrigue, making you question Esther's version of events.
We're getting this very intimate glimpse into Esther's thoughts, but we also have to remember that her perception of reality might be skewed by her emotional state.
It adds a whole other layer to their relationship. We're left wondering, is Buddy truly a hypocrite, as she claims? Or is this a reflection of Esther's growing disillusionment with him and with her own life?
And just as we are left wondering, Plath ends the chapter with that cliffhanger. It was there. I found out how he had fooled me all those years and what a hypocrite he was. It's brilliant.
It leaves you wanting more, needing to know what happened to cause such a drastic shift in Esther's feelings for Buddy. It's a classic Plath move, drawing you deeper into the story and making you question everything. Host speaker. That accusation, Hypocrite, it really leaves in the air, doesn't it? It
Yeah.
makes you examine all those little moments
Um,
that hinted at Buddy's true character.
it's like watching a puzzle come together.
Yeah,
Those seemingly insignificant details suddenly become clues to the bigger picture.
right.
We start questioning everything we thought we knew about Buddy and about their relationship.
We see how he dismisses poetry,
Right.
how he seems almost indifferent towards Joan.
Yeah.
It paints a picture of a man who might be more concerned with appearances than genuine connection.
And then we have that pivotal scene where they witness childbirth. It's graphic, almost brutal, and it completely shatters any romanticized notions Esther might have had about starting a family with Buddy.
That scene is so powerful, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It's like Plath is forcing us to confront the raw reality of life, the messiness and pain that often get glossed over in polite conversation.
It's almost a turning point for Esther.
Yeah.
This idealized vision of her future with Buddy crumbles, and she's left feeling even more isolated and disillusioned.
And it's not just the childbirth scene. Throughout the chapter, Plath expertly weaves in these subtle hints about Esther's declining mental state. Remember her fascination with the fig tree story
Uh-huh.
and those morbid thoughts about death?
Those details are so important. They show us that Esther's internal struggles are intensifying, that she's moving closer to a breaking point.
It's like we're watching a train heading towards a collision. You can see the warning signs, but you can't look away. And in Esther's case, that collision is with these societal expectations that are closing in on her.
The pressure to conform, to be the perfect wife and mother, it's
Yeah.
suffocating. It's no wonder she feels trapped and hopeless.
Exactly. And remember, this is the 1950s. Those societal expectations were even more rigid and unforgiving than they are today.
Right.
It must have felt impossible for a young woman like Esther to break free from those constraints.
But even in the midst of all this darkness, there's this spark of rebellion in Esther. She's sharp, witty, and she refuses to simply accept the life that's been laid out for her.
That's what makes her such a compelling character.
I know it.
She's not a passive victim. She's fighting back. Even if it's just in her own mind, she's constantly questioning, challenging,
Yeah.
and pushing the boundaries.
It's like she's trying to carve out her own space in a world that doesn't seem to have room for her. And that struggle, that yearning for something more, is something that I think resonates with readers of all generations.
Absolutely. It's a universal theme. That desire to break free from societal expectations, to find your own path, to be true to yourself. It's something we can all relate to on some level.
It's what makes The Bell Jar so much more than just a story about a young woman
Right.
struggling with mental illness. It's a story about the human condition, about the search for identity and meaning in a world that can often feel chaotic and uncaring.
And it's a story that continues to challenge us,
Oh, definitely.
doesn't it? It forces us to confront those uncomfortable truths about ourselves and about the world around us.
It makes us question our own assumptions, examine the ways in which we might be conforming to societal expectations, and consider what it truly means to live a life of authenticity and purpose. It's amazing how even just this one chapter of The Bell Jar has opened up so many avenues for discussion. It's like every sentence holds a hidden meaning, a deeper layer waiting to be explored.
That's what makes great literature so powerful. It transcends time and place.
Right?
The themes Plath explores in The Bell Jar, mental health, societal pressures, the search for identity, they are timeless and universal.
And even though it was written decades ago, it feels so relevant today. We might not face the same rigid expectations as women in the 1950s, but the struggle to find your voice, your place in the world, that feeling of being trapped, it still resonates with so many people.
It's a story that invites us to look inward, to examine our own lives and the choices we make. It challenges us to question what we've been told about success,
Yeah.
happiness, and fulfillment.
For you listening, I want to ask, what struck you the most about Esther's story? What resonated with your own experiences? Did any of her struggles with societal expectations or her longing for creative expression feel familiar?
It's so interesting to consider how Esther would navigate our world today. With all its complexities and pressures, would she find her voice in a blog, a podcast, a social media movement? Would she still feel that same sense of disillusionment?
I think those are questions we all need to ponder. Because even though the world has changed, the challenges of finding your own path, of staying true to yourself in a world that often demands conformity, those challenges remain.
And that's where the power of literature lies. It gives us a framework for understanding those challenges, for seeing ourselves reflected in the struggles of others. It helps us to feel less alone.
This deep dive into The Bell Jar has been an incredible journey. We've only just scratched the surface of this complex and thought-provoking novel, But I hope it sparked a desire in you to explore further, to see where Esther's journey takes her. And as you continue reading, keep asking those tough questions, keep challenging those assumptions, and never stop searching for your own fig tree, your own path to growth and fulfillment. Until next time, happy reading. And we'll see you on another Deep Dive soon.